All right, so what are we doing here? So I was a 4-4 spot drop cover 3 guy. I felt like great pursuit and great effort overcame things. Well, these air raid RPO guys, I mean, it got tough, right? So I knew I needed to go to a 2 safety look, and I wanted to not get away from our 4-4 route, so this kind of met it. And what I fell in love with Gary Patterson when I found his coaching. There's an online video, an online article he wrote for Nike Coach of the Year manual. It's a PDF article, and he talked about this divorce front. And so basically, for the most part, our front 6 is completely divorced from our back 5, and I absolutely love that from a teaching standpoint. This talk, we're going to focus on the red box, a little bit of those wheels and spurs on the outside. In my brain, it's been hard for me, but I have to think of these outside backers. I have to think of these guys as safeties, okay? I can't think of them as outside backers. So these guys have now joined the defensive back. They've now joined the lettuce eater family. So I have to think of it that way as far as scheming. Now, do they have to play outside linebacker and do stuff that outside linebackers do? Absolutely. We roll them up a lot. We run cover 3 like what you're seeing now. But we also have them out there in the pass coverages. But why that's important is if anybody in the red box is stunting, slanting, blitzing, anything, we do not have to match our coverage. Our coverage does not have to be married to what those guys in the red box are doing. Because we have 5 DBs in the backfield, we can adjust to whatever the offense is doing while we're blitzing. And I really like that. Now, if I bring those guys off the edge, well, they are technically defensive backs. So, yes, we have to have a coverage that matches. It's not in this talk. I'll tell you right now, it's our mix-it 2-read palms coverage. Anytime we blitz the edge guys, we're just going to mix it or 2-read palms it. There's different words for it, and that's a whole other talk, and that's what we do. So we only have one coverage check if we bring any blitzes from the blue box. But this talk is focused on the red box and how we do our run fits. But tell you what, this made our teaching so much easier, made our practice so much easier. It made our calls so much easier. And then really from a teaching standpoint, Gary Patterson's split field concept. The guys on this side, they do not care what the guys on that side are doing. Okay, so we are able to break our teaching in half. All of our practices we break in half. All of our pass coverages, how we line up to formations is all broken in half. Again, that is not this talk, but this divorce front split field thing, this is why I'll never, ever switch to another defense. It's because of teaching. If you heard my talks yesterday, everything starts and ends with practice time and what your offensive line, what your linemen can handle. Okay, us coaches are our worst old enemies. We sit online and we watch all these clinics, and there's a plethora of them online right now. We go to Glazier clinics and we buy all these books and videos, and we just try to do too much for our kids. And you forget that, you only have an hour on Monday, an hour on Tuesday, an hour on Wednesday to get all this in. So that's kind of an overview of our defense. Now, this whole talk now, we're going to focus on that front 6. So let's get about our run fits, okay? So because it's a divorce front, if we set our strength to the tight end, we can set our strength to the running back, we can set our strength to the field, and our front 6, our Mike backer will make a lucky or Ringo call, and he'll set the front 6 based on what our strength. Now, he could set them to the running back, he set them field. In this example, it's just one example, he'll set the strength to the tight end, and then our front 6 is done. So that's the lucky call. Now, our Falcon behind him, the back 5, they always line up to the multiple receiver side. Always. We don't ever change that on them. So then these guys are lined up in the back, and so the Falcon's yelling right, while the Mike backer's yelling lucky, lucky, lucky. So that's how we keep our divorce front concepts and keep those separated. I've read some college coaches where the pass call is totally independent of the run call. They have 2 different coaches making the 2 different calls because of the divorce concept. So that just gives you an overview of what we do. I can't get into details of all the formations and what we do, okay? But we are definitely a divorce front concept. All right, let's get to the run fits. So that's what our D-line, this comes out of my 4-2-5 playbook, and I really believe in the big 3, right? The big 3. I want to make sure that every position that there's 3 things they can be great at. 3 things they can be great at. So that's kind of an overview philosophy. You play D-line for us, what you need to do. So I give all the credit to a coach in Southern California, Harry Welch. He's a legend out here, and he this has introduced me to this head up alignment. Now you're going to say, well, that's a 3-4 defense. Well, no, it's not. As soon as the ball snapped, we are playing it like an even front. We're playing it like an even front. And I'll tell you why we went to this and why we loved it. We want uncovered linemen. We want uncovered linemen. Sometimes the tackle is uncovered, but we want to read the uncovered lineman because it gives us a very, very clean read. If you start shading, and say you're in a 3-tech on that guard's right shoulder, the guard might fire out and hit you on a pass play, and you're not sure if your kids aren't sure if that was a clean high hat or low hat. So when you shade it, it's a little bit tougher. When they're like this, those two guards, if it's a pass play, they are definitely going to pop their helmets in the air, and they're going to be looking around to the two gaps, and you're going to know it's pass. And if it's run, they're going to aggressively fire out and double team that nose or aggressively go get a linebacker. So by having these uncovered linemen, it really made our initial read really easy as far as our run pass read, okay? So everybody on the interior, our nose guard, our tackle, our Mike backer, our bull backer, and our falcon, they're all reading uncovered linemen. The guys on the edge, they read in-man on line of scrimmage. I'm going to get to that, okay? So we read on uncovered. Now, we don't always line up like that. I can definitely move them around. I can shade them. We have push-pull calls. We have over-under calls where we do shade. We also have a stack call where they'll stack the guards and they'll leave that right tackle and center uncovered. So we definitely move them around. I don't think you stay in the same front all night long. I can't really go into it in this talk. I have all this stuff up on CoachTube. You can see how we move guys around. But this is our base defense. This is how we're going to go. So now those are basically, they're not slanting. You notice they didn't put arrows there. So both those guys are in 3-point stances. And as soon as the ball snapped, if they don't have a call, they understand we slant and we blitz and do things, that's different. But if it's just a base call and we don't have them slanting or looping or hitting a gap because of a blitz, they take one step into their gap and they sting half a man. So let's focus on that. Let's focus on this guy right here. His left hand. There we go. His left hand is going to get the breastplate, the V of the neck of that tackle, and his right hand is going to get that shoulder pad. So we're going to sting half a man. Both of them do the same technique. Breastplate of the center, outside shoulder of the center, and then their eyes are on the guard. So the tackle's eyes are on the right guard, and the nose guard's eyes are on the left guard. If the guards pull, we're gone Johnson. We immediately disengage and we go down the line. We do not go in the backfield. We go down the line and chase the pulling guard. If the pulling guard pulls over us, then we cross face. Some of my kids will spin out of that. I don't like that, but if they're good at it, I'll let them. But we're definitely going to cross face and chase pullers. If either one of the guards double team, well, the nose guard has to dip his near shoulder and split the double team or grab grass. And if the right guard doubles the nose, the tackle is going to pitch a tin and hunker down because if they're doubling that nose, the ball's coming right there. If the guards go get the linebacker, if the guards fire out and go get the linebacker in any kind of thing, then we got to find flow. Now they're going to react to the backfield flow. So what I'm trying to point out here, as soon as the ball snapped, you can see we're immediately in a 4-eye and a shaded 1. So as soon as the ball snapped, we become an even front philosophy defense, okay? And that's going to kind of tie into, what we're doing, okay? So if this happens, say they get these right here, okay, they're both going to step. That I have arrows drawn. They're not slanting. They're stepping, sting half a man because both guards went after the linebackers. They have to find flow. Now they're going to react to the backfield flow, and they're going to pursue down the line. In fact, we would like to stay on our side of the line of scrimmage as they're going down the line. If they are across the line, we tell them never get deeper than ankles, never deeper than the offensive line's ankles, okay? Double team, the tackle is going to hunker down and pitch a tent because it's coming, and that nose guard has to cross base. Now, the nose guard's already stepped in the opposite direction of the double team, so he's probably just going to grab grass, but he has to fight like heck. He has to fight like heck and get into that double team and fight. He's probably going to be a wash. He's probably not going to make a tackle, but he's got to occupy both of those guys so that the linebacker can fit over the top. I'll tell you what happens, though, because he steps weak, the right guard oftentimes thinks he's slanting, and the right guard just leaves and tries to go get our bullbacker, and then the nose guard just has to fight across the center, and he ends up making the tackle. So there's another stimulus response. We're big on stimulus response. The stuff you're seeing, coaches, these drawings, we rep these every stinking day, beyond the point of boredom, okay? There's a book that says you got to do it 5,000 times to be muscle memory. And so, our kids, we ingrain these reads right here in their heads, okay? This is an absolute cardinal sin. You're breaking one of the 10 commandments. That guy cannot get a free release at our linebacker. We have to step. That tackle has to step, and our D tackle has to step and make sure that right tackle does not get that linebacker. If he does get the linebacker, he had to fight like heck to get off of our D tackle's hands. Our D tackle's got 2 hands on him, and he's going to keep that guy in the line of scrimmage. Same thing, because that guard pulled, that nose guard knows, he's going to immediately cross face and fight back because we're going to chase pullers. Now, we can get into debates about wrong shoulder or near shoulder. I don't really have an opinion on that. I will tell you this. We teach near shoulder because of our lack of speed, because normally the teams we play are genetically more athletic than us. We don't wrong shoulder and spill. We don't want them to bounce and go outside because we kind of feel like most of the time they're faster than us. If we bounce them, we could be in trouble. We'd rather funnel everything up into our interior defense. So our tackle is going to squeeze like heck. He's going to squeeze like heck. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. The collision should happen about right here, and he's going to hit that real low and hard with his right shoulder, and that hole has gotten real narrow as far as that guard trap thing. Okay? So, again, collision that thing with a near shoulder. Okay? If the guard pulls there, the nose guard's fighting like heck. He's already stepping it. He's going to get really skinny with his near shoulder and really try to split that double team. And that tackle's gone. As soon as that guard pulls, the defensive tackle, he doesn't have any hands now on the right tackle. He just takes off and goes right down the line and chases that pulling guard. He could backdoor the center if he has a shot at the running back, or he might have to go over the top. Okay? We are definitely going to be chasing pullers with our interior guys. Okay? The big one we're seeing now is the zones, right? The inside zone and the stretch plays. So because our nose guard's already stepped with his right foot, the center will probably get a release up to the backer, and we coach that up, and our bullbacker has to make sure that he's going to beat that over the top and beat that right here. But I'll tell you what cannot happen. The left guard cannot overtake our nose guard. So we tell our nose guard that the guard cannot cross his face. So the nose guard has this A gap, but the gap moves. So as they're trying to stretch him and move him, the nose guard's moving to his left, and his A gap stays with him. And he knows he has that gap because our bull's going to be fighting over the top. So our nose guard can't just take off running and leave a big cutback lane. Okay, so people ask about cutback. It's really our nose and our defensive end that's going to have the cutback, and our wheelie too. I'll get to that. So the gap moves. You have a gap, but the gap moves with you. This is the one we probably rep the most often because we see it the most often. The tackle, same thing, because he steps to his right. He steps into the B gap. The right tackle might be able to release up to get our Mike backer. So our Mike backer has to know that also. So our Mike backer, when our Mike backer sees that right guard step, our Mike backer knows that he has to fight and make sure he beats the right tackle over the top. And then our tackle here has to know that he has that B gap. So that B gap's going to move with him. And the right guard cannot cross the guy's face. So as we're fighting, that right guard, he has to make sure he keeps the right guard on his inside. Okay? If either one of these guards overtake our nose guard and our tackle, we're in trouble. Okay? So that's kind of our stimulus response and the stuff we rep every stinking day.
Coaches, Rick Stewart with All Access Coaching, where we're all about coaches helping coaches. Thanks for watching the video. And I've got to ask, please hit the subscribe and like button below. The like button really helps us with valuable data as to what videos to make and upload in the future to help you out. And the subscribe button will notify you when we upload new content to the channel. This channel is not specific to an offense or a defense. It's not even specific to Rick Stewart. I fly over the country filming college coaches and state championship coaches about their offenses, about their drills, about practices, about defense, about program building, team building, fundraising, and weight training. It's all about coaches helping coaches. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe and like below. And as always, better today, but never as good as tomorrow.